Every single day we all do something that feels, well, kind of like magic. You click a link and poof, a whole new world just appears on your screen. But what's actually going on in that tiny fraction of a second? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and follow that one little click on its incredible journey.
I mean, have you ever really thought about it? What actually happens in that split second between your click and a web page just appearing? It's so fast we take it for granted. But that single click kicks off this insane, lightning-fast chain reaction that literally spans the globe. It's not actually magic, but honestly, it's pretty darn close. Let's trace the path.
All right, so where does this whole adventure kick off? It starts with something you're probably looking at right now, your web browser. This thing is our portal, our window to the entire web.
Think of your browser as your own personal guide for the internet. Its main job is to go out, request information, fetch it, and then display it all for you. You tell it where to go, and it zips across the vastness of the web to find what you asked for and bring it right back to your screen, all laid out perfectly.
And you use one of these every single day, right? Whether you're all about Google Chrome, a Firefox fan, or maybe you stick with Safari or Edge, it doesn't matter. They're all powerful tools doing the same fundamental job for us.
And the whole process, this entire journey, it all starts with a single command from you. That's you, typing in an address like example.com or just clicking a link. You're basically pointing your browser in a direction and saying, go get that for me.
Okay, but here's the first little problem. The browser has its command, but there's a translation issue. See, we humans think in words and names, but the internet, it's all about numbers. So the very first thing the browser has to do is act as a translator.
It's kind of like this. We remember a place by its name, right? Like example.com. But computers, they need a super precise location, an IP address, which is just a string of numbers. It's really the difference between saying, take me to Times Square and giving a cab driver the exact GPS coordinates.
So, how does it make that translation happen? How does it find the right number for the name you gave it? Well, it uses something called the DNS, or the domain name system. And honestly, the absolute best way to think about DNS is that it's the phone book for the entire internet. Simple as that. The whole lookup is super fast. It's basically 4 simple steps. 1, you type in the name. 2, your browser shoots a question over to a DNS server asking, hey, what's the number for this name? 3, the DNS server looks it up and sends the number back. And 4, boom, your browser now has the exact coordinates it needs to send its request. All right, so now our browser has the right address and knows exactly where to go. So it sends a request hurtling across the internet's highways. And that request arrives at its destination, a very special, very powerful computer called a web server. And this is where that whole restaurant kitchen idea really clicks. The server is the kitchen of the website. It's a powerful computer that's just sitting there storing all the files for a website. The text, the images, all the code. It's got all the ingredients ready to go. So the server gets the request from your browser. It's like a waiter handing an order to the kitchen. The server reads the order, I need the page for example.com, and it immediately gets to work pulling all the right files off the shelf to put your web page together.
Okay, we're on the home stretch now. The server has done its job. It's packaged up all those files and sent them flying back across the internet to your browser. But now comes the grand finale. Your browser has to take all these raw ingredients and actually build the web page you see. See, pretty much every website you visit is made of 3 core components. Think of it like a person. You've got HTML, which is the skeleton. It gives the page its basic structure and holds all the content. Then you have CSS. That's the clothing. It adds all the style, the colors, the fonts, the layout, making it look good. And finally, there's JavaScript. That's the brains. It handles all the interactive stuff like animations or forms, anything that makes the page do something. So, the server takes this whole package, the skeleton, the clothes, and the brains, and sends that bundle of code zipping right back to where it all started, your browser.
And this is where your browser really shines. It's not just a messenger, it's a master builder. It takes those raw files it just received, and in a flash, it assembles them all together into the beautiful interactive web page that pops up on your screen. It's pretty amazing.
But you want to know what's truly mind-blowing? That entire journey we just followed, your click, the DNS lookup, the request to the server sending everything back, and your browser building the page, all of it happens in under 100 milliseconds. That is literally faster than you can blink. It's just wild.
So when you boil it all down, the entire web, this massive global network, it all works on this really simple, elegant cycle of request and response. It's a conversation happening millions of times every single second all over the world. It really makes you think, doesn't it? As things get faster and smarter, what's the next great request going to be? Thanks for exploring that with me today.